I built $1 billion company. That sentence still feels strange when I hear it out loud. Not because it isn't true, but because the version of me who started this journey would barely recognize the man saying it. 30 years ago, none of this existed. Back then, it was just a small rented office and a woman who believed in me before anyone else did.
Her name was Emily. And when we met, I had absolutely nothing. No money, no connections, no reputation. Just a stubborn belief that if I worked hard enough, life would eventually reward the effort. We met in a small coffee shop near the university where she worked. I remember exactly what she was wearing: a simple blue sweater, her hair tied loosely behind her head. She was reading a book at the corner table, and when she laughed at something on the page, she covered her mouth with her hand like she was embarrassed to laugh out loud. That tiny gesture stayed with me. I walked over and asked if the seat across from her was taken. It wasn't. That moment changed everything. In those days, life was incredibly simple. We had a tiny apartment with thin walls and furniture that didn't match. Our dining table was a piece of wood resting on two metal filing cabinets. But every night, we ate dinner together. Not quickly, not distracted. We talked about ideas, about the future, about the kind of life we wanted to build. I used to tell her about the company I dreamed of creating, a real company, a company that would matter. And every time I talked about it, her eyes would light up like she could already see it. Those early years were full of uncertainty. Some months we barely made rent. There were days I seriously wondered if I had made a terrible mistake chasing this idea. But Emily never complained, not once. While I stayed up late working, she would bring me tea. When I doubted myself, she reminded me why I started. She didn't believe in the money, she believed in me. Eventually, the company started to grow, slowly at first. 1 client became 3, 3 became 10, 10 became 50. Suddenly, I wasn't just a guy with an idea anymore. I was responsible for employees, payroll, expectations. The stakes were rising, and so were the hours. At first, the changes felt justified. Missing dinner once or twice didn't seem like a big deal. Skipping a weekend trip because of a meeting felt responsible. Every sacrifice had a reason, every delay had a promise attached to it. I would tell her, just give me a little more time. Once things stabilize, it'll be different. When we reach the next level, life will slow down. But success has a strange side effect. The more successful you become, the more people start needing something from you. Investors want meetings, partners want updates, executives want decisions, journalists want interviews, employees want direction. Everyone wants a piece of your attention. And slowly, your attention becomes the most expensive thing you own. By my early 40s, the company had exploded. Offices in multiple cities, hundreds of employees, revenue numbers I once thought were impossible. People started calling me a visionary, which is a strange thing to hear when you still remember the nights you couldn't pay your credit card bill. The invitations started arriving. Private dinners, business conferences, exclusive events. People wanted to shake my hand. They wanted to sit next to me. They wanted my advice. And I'd be lying if I said it didn't feel good. For a kid who started with nothing, recognition can feel intoxicating. But admiration has a dangerous side effect. It slowly changes the way you see yourself. People laugh at your jokes more, they nod when you speak, they treat your opinions like they carry unusual weight, and if you're not careful, you start believing it. I became incredibly busy, but not the kind of busy that feels productive, the kind that feels constant. My calendar filled weeks in advance, every hour accounted for, every moment scheduled. And while my world was getting bigger, my life at home was getting quieter. Emily noticed the change long before I did. At first, she would wait for me at dinner. Then she started eating earlier. Eventually, she stopped asking what time I would be home. Not out of anger, just practicality. There was a night I remember very clearly. It was a Tuesday, nothing special, just an ordinary evening. I arrived home late like usual. The house was dark except for a lamp in the living room. She was sitting on the couch with a photo album, an old one from the early years. The tiny apartment, our cheap furniture, the road trip we took with a borrowed car that broke down halfway through the trip. She was smiling at the pictures, and when she saw me standing there, the smile faded. Not dramatically, just quietly. She looked at me and asked something very simple. "Do you remember when life used to feel like this?" I didn't understand the question. I told her life was better now, safer, more comfortable, more secure. She nodded, but her eyes said something else. Success can make your life larger, but sometimes it makes your world smaller, because the higher you climb, the fewer people treat you normally, and the fewer places you can go without being recognized. Eventually, even your time stops belonging to you. By the time I turned 50, my net worth crossed a number that magazines love to print: billionaire. It's a strange word. People imagine yachts and champagne, but the truth is much less glamorous. It mostly means responsibility, pressure, and a constant stream of people trying to get close to you. The invitations became endless: private jets, exclusive events, rooms full of people who were very eager to agree with whatever I said. And somewhere in the middle of all that admiration, I lost something I didn't even realize I was protecting: simplicity. Emily never cared about the money, not when we had none, and not when we had more than we could ever spend. What she missed were the small moments: morning coffee together, walking through the park, late-night conversations that had nothing to do with business, the simple rhythm of being two people sharing the same life. But by then, I had become a very important person in a very demanding world, and important people are always busy. One night, she said something that has stayed with me ever since. She said, "The world gets the best parts of you. I get what's left." At the time, I told myself she was exaggerating, that she didn't understand how much pressure I was under. But the truth was simpler than that. She understood perfectly. The real tragedy isn't losing someone suddenly. It's watching the distance grow slowly, year after year, conversation after conversation, missed moment after missed moment, until one day you realize the person sitting across from you feels like a stranger. I became richer than I ever imagined, more respected than I ever expected, more admired than I ever deserved. But somewhere along the way, the woman who once laughed in a coffee shop while reading a book stopped waiting for the man who walked over to meet her. People think success is measured in numbers: revenue, valuation, net worth. But those numbers only tell a very small part of the story, because the most important things in life never show up on a balance sheet. And sometimes the price of winning the game everyone respects is losing the life that actually mattered. Welcome to the Fast Forward Life, where we talk about what ambition costs before it costs you more than you planned to pay.